I just finished this job. There was a big hole in the wall. The brick fell out. I'm going to show you what that looks out like right now. And this is what it looks like when it's done. I put the brick up, I put the block up, I stuccoed it, and then I painted it. So I'm going to show you how I did it. Here we go. Well, we're in this parking lot, and today we're going to patch this hole up. This is some old brick that fell off the building. You see, that's good brick, and it fell off the building. So I'm going to replace it. I'm going to show you how I do it. So we're up on top of this scaffold. Now this brick in here, that's good. This brick is good. You got some loose stuff there. And then we get over here. All this stuff was falling down on cars. We got the bird's nest. So we're going to fill this all in. Now, it's hard to hold the camera up here, but I put a line up. You see the line right there? And just by the thickness of a brick, I know a 4-inch cap's going to fit all the way up through here. You see that? So now I'm going to figure out for 4-inch solids. So I knocked that all off of there until it was hard. Cleaned it all off. Now I'm going to go down. It's 5 by 9. I need 50 4-inch solids. Now if you could see, I got a nail here. And I put a line pretty close even to that. And I went down there and I put a little steel nail there. So now I'm just going to fill it in. Okay, I'm using 2 buckets of masonry sand and 1 bucket of S mortar right there. High strength masonry sand. Type S, see it? Type S. So 2 to 1, I throw a shovel of Portland in just for my own sake. So I got an idea where my line is. I already brushed everything off before. I'm just going to lay them in there. Just like that. No big deal. Just put it in. I'm going to follow my line. Right even. All the way down. One by one. Right here we got a little space, so we just fill that in with a little brick, that's all. Do the same thing here, I raise my line, and I keep going with my second course. I'm gonna stucco everything anyway, so it's no big deal. Now we're going to talk about wall ties. See this wall tie? Metal. I went into the brick. You go over there. You got a big hole going in there. Let me see if you can see that. See that hole? So what I want to do, first thing I want to wet it. You know I say you have to wet it if you want things to stick. So I know that's wet. I'm going to throw cement in there like that. Pack that with cement. Then I got some door wall here. See the door wall? And I made my own wall ties. And you can bend them just like that. You get that in there and you make your own wall tie. There's no way you're going to drill into here and be secure. That's the way I put a wall tie in. I got my wall tie right there. Let's throw some cement right in against that so it's one solid piece. And I put my right over the top of that. Just like that. just continuing, and I'm putting all my wall ties wherever I can get them. You gotta be smart like that. You gotta put them where you can get them. Can't be perfect. There I'm going. Towards the top. Probably hard to see because of the sun, but I got this whole thing blocked in. Now I'm going to just stucco it. I'm going to fake it. And we don't have a hose on the job, so we got to do it the old-fashioned way. And then the sprayer broke, so we're just going to get a sponge and some water. Start throwing it on. Like that. And then just light stucco coat over the whole thing. Just like that. Now, keep stucco on it and go over everything because I gotta paint it anyway. I don't have my sprayer, so like I said, if you want it to stick, I'll get a little inventive. That's it. I'm just gonna get some of this goulash out of here. Right like that, right over the wetness. You know why we're using stucco? Stucco hides a lot of sins. That's why. Now, this is all the same day. That's it. A little cheesy way to do this, but it works. That's it. All we're doing is matching the rest of the building. Like that, old school masonry. All this is. There you go. Matches the other side of the building. Finishing up the whole thing. You gotta make sure when you're going over brickwork, especially old brickwork, it's wet. A lot of people ask me, do I use bonding agents? No. No, I don't use bonding agents. Just for something like this, you gotta make sure it's good and wet when you're going over it. I call it the Swedish style. Just do it all one shot so it sticks good. All right, we have the paint guy coming now. Okay.
Here's the paint you ordered, Mr. Haduck. I gotta go. I got other customers to go to.
Thank you on this, Mike.
You have a good day, sir.
Okay. Well, I'm up here and now I'm painting it. I'm just using a flat masonry stucco or deck paint, whatever they recommend. And this hides all the sins of the stucco, and it waterproofs it. When I get done with the paint, I usually mark it and put it in the storage. I'm driving by that job maybe a couple months later or something. I'll check it out, make sure it's okay. If it's bad, I'll just get the ladder, go up there and go over it. That job was an old warehouse. You could see it was built, I'd say, around 1860 just by looking at it. All they wanted to do was get it fixed. I guess they were having a problem with the officials or in town, whatever. But we got a warm spell in the middle of February, towards the end. I got ready, I went down there, guy helped me for a few hours, set the scaffolds up, put it in. I was out of there by 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I stuccoed, I was done, and that was it. They didn't own the park a lot. You know, they were kind of worried if maybe they'll come and stop you, whatever happened. We just wanted to get in there and get out of there. So that's the way I did it. When you're doing a job like that, I always just go around with the chip and hammer, just like a dentist. You know, go around, get all the bad stuff out. You don't rip the whole wall down. You're like a dentist. You don't rip the whole tooth out. You just go around, get all the bad stuff off, and then build it up from there, just like filling with a cavity. The wall ties, This is door wall. You've seen me use it in all my block jobs, and all I do is get a piece of it like that. I cut it with the snippers, and then I'll get a pair of pliers and I'll just bend it. Especially when I'm going into the brick, I want to make sure when I get that into the brick I got a good hook in there so it's not going to get anywhere. And then you just bend it basically to fit however you want it to go. Stucco. You know, I stuccoed that the same day. When I mixed my cement, it was 2 sand and it was 1 S mortar. And I threw a shovel of Portland in there. I knew I was going to make it real strong. And I wet it, and it went right over the wetness. You got to go right over the wetness. Sometimes people think I wet everything, my brick, my block. No, that's mostly for stucco or something that you really want to stick. Something really serious that you want to stick. I could have made the bonding agent, but basically it was so rich it was almost like a bonding agent. And it might check up, you know, but as a warehouse, they're not worried about it. I'm not worried about it. Just want to get in there, bang, and get out of there. There was no bonding agents when I was a kid. We made our own, like the Portland, like you always seen it. This case we didn't need it. We wet it real good, and that was it. Another thing, job like that, the paint companies usually say you should wait 30 days to paint stucco, so it kind of really dries out. In this case, 4 days later, I just went up there. It's an old warehouse. Boom, boom, boom. I painted it. I stored the paint. You know, next time I drive by it a month or 2 months later, I'll look if anything moved or checked. I might go up with a ladder and paint it. That's the way I looked at it. So that was that job. I figured I'd throw those little things in so you know how I look at it and the way I do things. I finished it up. That was it. So I'll show you a piece of it done now, and that's the end of the video. I'm Mike Haduck, and that's it.